welcome to my channel. This is a reading for Gemini for April 2020, career and finance. I'll just give you a quick rundown of the layout. I know I've got a lot of cards pulled, but I've got some extra time on my hands with the quarantine, which I know everybody's going through on the average. So I'll just quickly mention, I do pull on a few other decks sometimes, just when I feel it might be, just to keep it more interesting anyway. I am using the Impressionist Tarot, which is by Corinne Kenner and artwork by Arturo Pica, as well as the Lost Tarot of Nostradamus. And I'm also using the Angel Therapy cards from Doreen Virtue, as well as the Sacred Awakenings cards, which is from, sorry, just trying to get you the name on that one. Short-term memory. That one is Sarah Esther Felix. And I also have the Archangel Power Tarot cards, which is also Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine, and the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards, Doreen Virtue, the Fortune Reading cards, Sharina Starr, and again, the Lost Tarot, Nostradamus, John Matthews, and Will Kinghan. So I'll just get right into it here. Again, this is a Gemini reading for April 2020. I have mixed the cards so that we do have some general energy readings, which will be the Impressionist Tarot here. I have card right at the very back there, the Star, and then the Pope card at the very corner. Those ones actually relate to the Nostradamus deck. And then we also have, as I say, I'm also using the Sacred Awareness deck, Awakening deck, which I'll get to. First of all, let's just start with the Fortune cards. So the Fortune cards for Gemini, and this is general energies that are coming through for the month of April 2020, would be the Unity card, that's the Fortune card, as well as the Birth card. So in starting off with that, I mean, it looks as though we do have some elements of love here, but I want to just quickly mention, just in quick review of the cards, overall Gemini has a really, really good reading for the month of April. I do see that there's a lot of prospects. Again, there's a lot of divine guidance coming through here, and I suspect that the divine or spirit, whatever that is to you, is coming through for a lot of us simply because, by virtue of the world's problems or issues that we're challenged with at this time. So they are angels and so on that are trying to guide us and lead us to a safer place. So overall, Gemini seems to have a really creative reading. It seems like there's something that is on purpose here. There's a power that's behind it, that you can trust your intuition was sort of my general feel of the reading, that you're still trying to seek some balance. You are still hanging on to some money with this reading. And certainly you do have some things you might be a little, I don't want to say underhanded about, but certainly in regards to finance, you are possibly trying to figure out some clever ways to prosper, is I guess the best way for me to put it. And as far as the rest of the reading goes, I do feel that you are strongly led to produce something, whether that's in writing, books, that kind of thing, because that was also coming through in the reading. But anyway, let's just get right to it. I just wanted to give you a general feel of some of the cards and the details that came out as I went through. So the first card I'll start with is Unity, and again, that is the Fortune deck. So Unity is a time of divine understanding, renewal, peace, and hope, and you radiate and attract great love. So that was this card here. I did also feel that through this reading that you were also doing a lot of self-sabotage, negative thinking about yourself and others, which a lot of the advice cards that came through spoke to changing that behavior, because it brings down your energy and doesn't allow you to fully manifest things in an expedient time. And certainly, the whole point is to try to get through life in the easiest way possible. I don't think it's necessary for us to explore as many hardships as we can. Lessons learned, yes, but we don't need to feel it in the most painful ways if we can rely on inner guidance and wisdom to propel us forward out of some of that negativity. Anyway, back to the Unity card. So the Unity card, as I mentioned, is it's all about emotions and feelings and developments and rewards. So it's about that sense of harmony around relationships and new projects, in career, business, things that fulfill you. So it's telling you to be prepared for that unexpected twist of fate. whether it's between two people in a harmonious union that come together, that allows you to uplift your life, and it's a little unexpected, but it does speak of some kind of emotional connection and bonding there. So in terms of those personal relationships, because I feel around money, there is always some kind of, or on the average, relationships that influence our financial abundance, simply because, the two are entwined with the emotional spirit as well as the physical, material aspects of the world. We live in both, right? So we need to realize that there's a lot of crossover, and we're always in constant relationships and connections with family and friends and other situations, other relationships. So anyway, going back to the relationships, it's about two people with similar beliefs and traditions. Could even be a soulmate experience. It could be that you're also desiring more intimacy or emotional connection with this other person, but you need to, before that happens, you need to let go of the restrictions of the past, and there's definite changes ahead. There is progress in relationships, and certainly trust and communication is strong, and there is some kind of foretelling of that connection deepening. But again, you have to let go of the past before that allows you to move forward. So in terms of career and money, Unity speaks of that new business, or a new project, a new job, a career change, whether it's real estate investments, buying, selling, something along that line. But whatever it is, it puts you in the driver's seat so that you're excited about what's happening. So moving into birth, which, stands to reason that would follow. Birth is a universal energy that brings you the opportunity and the possibility to make those things happen. So you've just gone from all those possibilities in career and relationships with Unity, and you're now birthing it into being. So it again is about new possibilities and opportunities for transformation. It's a chance to start over. It's a new phase in your life. And again, these are the general energies for the month of April 2020, or at least the beginnings of that. I'm sure it'll play out over the course of the year, but it speaks to that starting to change there. It could symbolize birth of a child, new idea, project, even a new you. You're reinventing yourself. You've got a new attitude. You've got new hobbies. You're starting to think in a more successful way now. You're about to embark on a new journey in your life. And so because of that, you're looking at your personal relationships with family members and so on, and things are actually growing in your personal life, and they're expanding, and there's many personal responsibilities that you need to take care of as a result of those bonds starting to deepen or change again. But again, it's offering you reassurance that anything that was previously struggling in those relationships, or self-doubt, or, if fertility issues were a consideration, or any kind of upheaval, it's letting you know that they're being let go of. This is some kind of resolution that's coming to the forefront here. In terms of career, birth represents, as I said, this card here, birth represents that start of a new business, new jobs, things that are becoming exciting. It's a time of, action and opportunities, things that are coming into your hands. So again, with a lot of the issues going on in the world, this might be speaking more specifically to you birthing these projects from your home, or home base, or, on your computer. You're starting to explore how to expand those ideas. But it is letting you know that the timing for those new projects is perfect. So to make sure that you give it your full attention. So, and again, your heart's telling you which direction to be drawn to. It is a true passion in your life. And so you are listening and you're acting on your instincts. You're planting those seeds, and it's becoming a new positive chapter that you are about to embark on. So you want to kick into, first gear with those major goals, and just be proud of what you've achieved so far. So again, really great start to April. And then moving into the Sacred Awareness cards, you've got the Wounded Warrior as well as the Consciousness card. So the Wounded Warrior is really just that. It is the hero who has become a victim. So, you might be feeling a little bit weary, metaphorically holding up your shield to defend yourself, It's really that wounded warrior who was overpowered and controlled and felt defeated. But it's letting you know that it's time to release that wounded part of yourself, the things that wear you down, and, and consider the things that you're able to make happen now. The thoughts in your head about worst case scenarios, all the pain, the demons, the guilt, anything that's hurtful, that really relates to the past, and that you need to actually trust in the opportunity to begin this new life and, drop that shield. Stop struggling against yourself, because the sun is representing that source of life energy, and the solar flares are eruptions mirroring the old energy. So again, you also have the I believe that was the sun card there in the far corner also. So, and you've got the sun card here. It's a repeated pattern in here about you unchaining yourself, and just to start looking for resolution instead of defense mechanisms. So you also have, as I mentioned, the consciousness card. So the consciousness is about opening your consciousness up so that you get rid of limiting beliefs and illusions, and follow through. Don't let things block you. Don't let it block your flow of energy. Be purpose driven. The whole point is to flow like water, as I believe there was a martial artist who said that at one point. Anyway, it was, become water, so to speak. That's what it was. But anyway, it's about expanding into the other realms and allowing yourself to seek new wisdom and insights. But that expansion is really critical because it does help you to align with that divine source. So in other words, keep creating, because it's helping you to open up further channels so that you can expand. But you need to quiet your mind, and because there's a lot of cards here too about you being defensive, and your mind is overworking with anxiety in many areas of the reading here and feeling very defensive. So you need to quiet that part of yourself so that you can open up into this infinite new time. It's a new expansion. It's a new place that you've never been before that you're opening up to. So the next cards would be, I think we'll read the angel therapy cards, which are here in the corner, and then I'll zoom up to the other ones in the Nostradamus cards. So we'll start with these ones here, which is the angel therapy cards, and that's about the ascended masters. So basically the ascended masters are coming through to help you. They are spiritual teachers that are powerful and loving, and they watch over you and they guide you. So you either have one or more that are helping you in this situation. So they're letting you know that these were healers that once walked the earth, and and throughout history, there were people like Jesus and Kuan Yin and other saints, Moses, Mother Mary, Ganesh, and so forth. These were people that were ascended masters. And so you didn't need to qualify to get their help, other than you needed to have a sincere, pure desire to work with this deity for the betterment of humanity and the planet. So something you're about to produce, which is a creative pursuit, I suspect, and that could be, as I say, writing, because I know there were a lot of cards that sort of spoke to that. And again, also with the Two of Pentacles, that also speaks to that writing energy also. But it also lets you know that they're helping you with that right now, because it's important that you teach others your spiritual gift, that you have a talent and you're honing that craft, and it is becoming a sacred service, that's something that needs to be taught for those, for your tribe, so to speak. And you are a powerful light worker is also the next card there. And so that card actually speaks to letting you know that it's safe and okay to be powerful. It's okay to be in your, in that place of feeling comfortable, because it's letting you know that you actually have something great, and you have a healing energy, something that is not a personal or an ego-driven force, but it is something that you're doing out of the service of love. It's something that is just steadily flowing through you. So it is, you're feeling like you're moving with the flow of the universe. As I say, you do have the Ascended Masters, which are helping to bring forth this gift, and it's just flowing through you, whatever this is. And as I say, it just feels as though it's some kind of a creative pursuit to me. So moving on past that, we are moving into the... Actually, maybe I'll skip over to the Goddess Guidance cards, which are Dana, Kuan Yin, and I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but I suspect it is Air Cura. Anyway, best guess. So we'll start with the Dana card. The Dana card is really the High Priestess in the Rider-Waite deck and so on, so which I've also got out here. But you have a divine knowledge that can help others, and it is, again, through that spiritual teaching. So all over the place, you are getting divine help. Something's coming through you. You are meant to teach it. You do have a strong, powerful energy. You are somebody who has the ability to lead and guide others. You are powerful. So you have wisdom that extends far back into the ancient times, is what the High Priestess speaks to. And it's about bringing forward that knowledge into this present day. And you don't want to delay in manifesting this this new spiritual teaching, because whether it's writing or speaking, all forms of teaching are equally valuable. And so no matter how many lives you touch, it's very important that you do this kind of work. It is talking about you leading workshops. It could even be writing books or articles, any kind of opportunity to teach, but you are being a role model of peace. And you need to know that you are a leader with the High Priestess card. So very, very important message coming through here for April. And then we'll swing over to the Kuan Yin card. So Kuan Yin, or actually let's go into the other one, the Era Cura, if I mispronounce that, sorry. Anyway, regardless, the card actually means that you're blossoming and you're getting in touch with, you're just getting things started. You're being patient with yourself and the process, and the card is telling you, do not give up, because you're blossoming, you're ripening, things are about to grow. Don't try to rush this process. It's part of that beautiful path. It's that journey that makes everything so much more fulfilling. It's you learning new knowledge and skills and gathering new ideas together. It is about you putting learning into action, basically. It's telling you not to rush. And again, you also have the Temperance card down here, which is also about being patient. So again, slow down, enjoy the journey, get involved, have patience, and, just pace yourself, basically. So moving on past that, Kuan Yin is the card of compassion. So this is about compassion for yourself and for others, and to release the judgment that you have about yourself and others, and just to focus on love and light and things, the best in everyone, because everybody's got their own journey, everybody's got their own pain, and you have to let go of the past and able to move forward, and again, to deepen the bonds, because that was a great part of your unity and birth cards from the beginning here, which were overall general energies. But Kuan Yin speaks to that gentleness that gentleness being the strength, and that's your true power. So it's about you remaining calm and feeding yourself nourishing words, as they say, and that goes to others as well. So positive, kind thoughts, deeds, intentions, that's food for your soul, that's food for the world. And to stop shielding yourself from harshness, or rather shield yourself from harshness, but by attracting kind, gentle life lessons and relationships. And by doing that, it's what you're putting out. So if you're defensive and angry and, self-sabotaging and quite negative, and again, there's self-sabotage cards down here as well, and lots of anxiety, like the Eight of Swords, self-sabotage. Well, I guess you can't actually see that, but the card is down there. There it is. So again, those are things that you need to transform within yourself. So you do have some things to grapple with throughout the month of April, in terms of seeking kindness from both yourself and from others, and to transform that, because that intention, even though it does begin with yourself, your relationship with yourself, which will then, expand into all your other relationships, it is also allowing you to be happy and being true to you. So you want to release guilt and heal, and just keep your thoughts about yourself and others positive. So don't get involved with gossip and bad mouthing. Forgive yourself and others, all of that stuff. Don't be so hard on yourself, and release any perfectionistic tendencies, because it doesn't serve you. You're supposed to just enjoy the process, enjoy the journey, and take it slow. So moving on to the Archangel Power Tarot cards. These are the Three of Ariel, as well as the King of Gabriel. So, sorry, I guess I missed the Nostradamus. Okay, we'll skip over those in a minute. We'll skip to that in a minute. So for the moment, on to 3 of Ariel, and that is the card telling you, do what you love. You know, it's important to follow your passions, do your very best work. You know, there is a great talent and skill that you actually possess right now, and you need to recognize this, and it will bring you financial rewards. So it's a time of great personal growth. Don't push the process. Don't be in haste, because you're going to miss steps if you do. In terms of a career or artistic endeavors, that's what this card would relate to. It is about working with others in a happy, cooperative manner. And don't be afraid to get input from others around you and to confidently, you know, share your ideas, because it's a labor of love and you're going to be paid to be creative. So awareness of your potential and the fact that you're operating as a mentor for other people. Again, you're a teacher. You are somebody who is being brought great wisdom from the Ascended Masters, and it's being handed down through you in some kind of a passion project that you are delivering to the world. So the King of Gabriel over here is basically I believe the King of Swords, and that one is all about the big picture. So there's still a great deal to be done, but your job is to come up with that grand vision. So leave the details, you know, figure out how to do something successfully, but, you know, you're going to have to operate to get a few more details from other people. Then if you're leaving the details to others, it means that you're going to have to work in some kind of cooperative way, because those around you expect you to take the lead. And so your enthusiasm and your natural charm has to come through, because your creativity is the key to that successful undertaking. Being brought to the world, you're magnetic, you know, you're some kind of leader. With this card, it's telling you that you have the ability to motivate people to greatness and be inspirational. You know, you have some kind of a genius about you, and there's a dramatic, driven, enthusiastic nature that goes with the King of Gabriel. And again, I thought that one was King of Swords, but could be wrong on that. But either way, it does speak to, you know, you having a genuine concern for all. And it is about unexpected money coming through as well. So definitely a really good start to April as the overall general readings go. Anyway, okay, so moving on to the Lost Tarot of Nostradamus. So again, we've got the last 2 cards, which is Pope, which is in the far corner over here, and then you also have the Star card here. So the Star card represents that coming of hope. It's about, you know, the rising of hope and positive feelings and, you know, strong idealistic approach to things. It's shining light into the darkest corners of a situation. It's about a new enterprise as well. Could be moving to a new place, having a fresh start, whatever it is. New project, it's vigor, determination, you being the center stage of your own life, the star of your own life, basically. And it is that moment of opportunity. So it's letting you know that you're making the right choice at the right time. And this is a place of absolute calm. So you can look out and you need to see things with clarity and, you know, before you move ahead. And it's really about healing, rebirth, that gift of light and inspiration, good luck, idealism, destiny, that kind of thing. So really, really positive card. And with the Pope of Stars in the far corner there, that one actually speaks to, you know, it's a different role than the figure of the Pope. So this is really about, I know it's difficult to see the picture there, but it's actually being attacked by a dragon. So the papal figure is being attacked by a dragon. And so it is suggesting the threat posed by outside forces. This is actually the card of a King of Swords, is what it references. But it's really somebody who's an advisor, a powerful supporter. Could represent a judge, business executive, you know, somebody in the church that's high-ranking, somebody in the armed forces, or somebody who's an authority that's seldom challenged. It doesn't mean that they're always right just because they're in a position of authority, but it does indicate somebody who's disciplined and firm and, you know, quite dedicated. So it could be a counselor, could be, you know, again, businessman, somebody who has a degree of power. So moving past that, that could represent yourself or somebody else in your sphere. So I want to skip down to the Impressionist Tarot, just because there's only a couple of cards here, and I'm just trying to do the general energies first before we get to the main reading. Again, you've got the sun all over the place. This is the sun. This is the sun. You've got the sun over here. So there's lots of illumination, lots of happiness. This particular deck, the Impressionist Tarot deck, I really like because I find it really inspirational to read on some of the cards and just the way that they express it. They use a lot of references to the painters. For example, Claude Monet, with this particular picture, this Impressionist, I'll just pull it up because the cards I just find to be really unique. That card, and even, as I say, the cards themselves, as you read through them, they're just so inspiring. It says, the noblest pleasure is the joy of understanding. And that was by Claude Monet. So Claude Monet was an Impressionist, and he did Sunrise, which is the card I just showed you. This one here in 1872, and it hung at the Impressionist first exhibition in 1874. And Monet painted it in 40 minutes, so it's racing against time to capture the light. Landscape is nothing but an impression, he said, and an instantaneous one. So again, the sun is that source of life. It's the fiery center of life itself, and health and happiness and all of those things. It also represents or rules Leo. It's that fiery sign of recreation and procreation and creativity. It is, speaks to hobbies and sports and leisure in reference to astrology, but its overall interpretation is about the source of heat and life on Earth. It is that symbol of vigor, daily renewal. It marks events like birthdays, anniversaries, and it is the center of every person's universe, which is himself. So things revolve around how, and oftentimes mirror back in life, how we present ourselves and conduct ourselves. So people who orbit in your sphere of influence, are considered to regard you with love and respect. It is a card of clarity, optimism, energy, transparency, and enthusiasm. So you have an amazing April to look forward to. So much positive energy. The Queen of Pentacles is the next card here. And again, that card is Edgar Degas, is another Impressionist that made reference to a painting requires a little mystery, some vagueness, and some fantasy. When you always make your meaning perfectly plain, you end up boring people. I think that was just kind of clever. Anyway, so again, this is speaking to Queen of Pentacles is that nurturing blend of water and earth. So wherever she goes, things sprout and grow, and it's representing a Capricorn energy with this card. It's a worldly success. It's someone of social status, somebody who's grounded and earthy and could be very sensual and intensely physical, so that whether this is an energy of a person around you or yourself, but this is an old soul, someone who grows younger over time. They've developed this really dry sense of humor, and it sometimes catches people by surprise, but they are worth the investment of time and money into a project, because it also guarantees that there will be some kind of success. That card is indicative of wealth and generosity and confidence and being magnificent. So again, such amazing influences for this reading. So getting into the actual reading itself that relates more specifically to career and finance, I'll just generally kind of tap on a few of the cards. Your first card, which probably not fully in view, but it is the abundance card, the Empress. So you're starting out with the abundance card, ideas that are manifesting, idea, project, something that you've been working on, but it's just the birth of an idea, birth of something new there. So it could be pregnancy, but again, it's more of a career and finance reading, so I don't really want to go too far down that element there, just because we are focusing more so on, on where your finances are headed. And again, we do have a lot of cards that relate to that as well. So, with the 7 and the 8 of Pentacles, there's a progression there, indicating that you are still making some plans and diligently working And, you know, again, it's being practical with details and that kind of thing. But anyway, back to the abundance, or the Empress, sorry. That is somebody who is, as a person, it represents somebody who's creative and nurturing and, you know, again, you know, somebody who's very intuitive and instinctual. But it also represents a Libra energy and somebody who could be quite elusive or mysterious. So, you know, this is somebody who, you know, it's a positive card and definitely speaks to, you know, rewards coming your way, and the birth of idea and owning your own power and, you know, moving in that direction of developing yourself. And it's just a overall good feeling card. But again, you know, it's about you being taken care of. Like, I just don't, there's no real need for, there's no problems around this card, really. It's abundance on many levels. So moving past that, there's the Eight of Wands, and again, the eights are about moving past problems and difficulty. But the wands themselves are a very quick-moving energy, so it's a fast-moving communication that's coming in there. And following that is the Ace of Pentacles. So it's telling you that there's fast-moving, after the birth of this idea, there's going to be fast-moving energy that speaks to some kind of materialistic energy that's coming through. So projects get going. You've got new beginnings. There is reward for your efforts. You know, if you just keep going with that journey, you're grounded, you've got practical knowledge, you're centered. There's stability and recognition for this success. It's some kind of unexpected blessing that's coming your way with this card. This is all toward the beginning of April as well for Gemini. So again, it's all about abundance. It's a really good card. You also have the Queen of Swords, and that also speaks to a Libra energy as well. So there could be a Libra energy that's coming through on this reading, because it seems to be repeated several times here. Anyway, with the Queen of Swords, it's about a Libra Virgo energy there. It is somebody who's really intuitive, could be somebody who's a businesswoman or has aspirations to be a businesswoman or has that energy of a very business-minded person, somebody who's strong-willed, very honest, and, you know, has a very perceptive nature, very straightforward, upfront, you know, quite intellectual, lively. Just tells it like it is. Somebody who's really realistic. I mean, on the downside, they could be a little manipulative and judgmental, but they're basically somebody who resolves problems, and they're fast thinkers. You know, these are people that are realistic and generally achieved some form of success in their life. Could be, again, entrepreneurial energy, but it basically, it does speak to somebody who's kind of unstoppable, you know. I mean, on the far end of things, to the other extreme, they can be a little cold and cruel, but they are overall adaptable and a really good negotiator or mediator of sorts. And they're excellent with the written word, and they're great. They make great managers here with this card here. So that's just an energy that's around you that is somehow relative to the money situation here. There's also maybe it's somebody who's giving you advice, don't know, but is somehow influencing the read. You also have the Knight of Wands. So Knight of Wands is also about wands, fast-moving energy, but Knights are also about messages, news that's coming through. So with the Knight of Wands, if it's representing a person, it could represent a child's energy, which is somebody who might be a little vain. It might be somebody who's a little insensitive, but very self-assured and loves to be loved. You know, somebody, but it's also a card of being optimistic. It could also be somebody who's restless and charismatic and, you know, just a little impatient. And it does also indicate, you know, vacillating between extremes of energy, positive, negative, that kind of thing. But it's basically about loving that adventurous nature, or loving adventure, being daring, enthusiastic. Again, that could be your energy or somebody around you. Could be a younger person, because, you know, pages and certainly this type of knight can represent a younger quality. But it is somebody who's quite artistic and has intense connections here as well. But it does speak to a passionate energy, and certainly somebody who is because Knights represent motion and change, it is about something advancing forward towards your goals. Nines are also about taking action. So the Nine of Wands, again, is, you being a little bit defensive here. It doesn't mean that you're not acting on the projects that you need to, because it's really about you just being a little suspicious of others, but you're persevering, you're prepared, you're aware, you're prepared to act. You might still be feeling a little vulnerable with this card, though, as I said, but you're being resourceful. And again, it's about you feeling like you need to maintain boundaries. You're still feeling a little bit of woundedness there. So again, maybe something is coming up from the past that is in around this Knight energy and this Libra energy, that you're feeling a little bit that you need to put on some kind of restriction or restrictive boundary. But it is, overall, it is a card about inner self-awareness. So you don't have to is telling you to, keep your focus on something, have the ability to, weigh out your pros and cons, your strengths and weaknesses, that kind of thing. But again, wands are about creative solutions. So, and there were other cards here that also spoke to you letting down your barriers and to trust in others and to heal the wounds. So really, I feel that this is just an obstacle that you are placing in the way. So you just need to sort of finish up that, whatever that thing is, before moving on. Because it's also closely connected to the devil energy. And again, the devil energy is coupled with that Hanged Man, which is about changing a perspective. And you've also got the Five of Swords, which is usually indicating some kind of a hard win. But with the devil energy, I mean, it can speak to, overthinking, negative thinking, addictions, over drinking, overindulging, anything that is basically not in your best interest to do over the long term. Because, as I say, devil energy is eventually will have some kind of long-term effect if you continue in that same space, whether it's, as I say, being manipulated or you being manipulated, manipulating others. But again, it's a lot of limited perception and negative thinking and that kind of thing that's coming through with this card. Because it is, these were actually clarifier cards for the devil energy. As the three, because individually, the devil card, as I mentioned, is about greed and discontent and manipulation, and it does represent a Capricorn energy, but it's also about, things, areas of your life that might feel out of control. And again, things that need to be improved, unhealthy bonds, feeling trapped, jealousy, all of those things. And it's not a really healthy place for you to be. And that's why the clarifier card is to change your perspective with the Hanged Man. So it is about strong instinctual drives as well for food and territory and, even sexual prowess, that kind of thing. It can also speak to some really negative moods here because it's connected to the Hanged Man. There's a lot of paranoia with this card, or a tendency for paranoia. There's some really dark moods, could be speaking to depression of some sort. That you've, and again, it's about sneakiness with this, with the Five of Swords. There's a sneakiness and a win at all costs mentality. But again, those are not healthy energies to have around, overall, just because it will bite you down the road. It's not an energy you want to, it brings down your vibration. So it's not an energy that you can maintain and be successful. So I would strongly suggest trying to find ways to work through your issues and, try to stay in more of a positive state of mind. You definitely are finding some happiness, though, because there is that self-confidence that's coming through here. So after this period of doom and gloom and depression and low period, you are finding self-confidence and inspiration. You're able to communicate better. There's success and happiness and creativity and public recognition that comes with this card. Again, it's moving in the direction of that. So in other words, it's good things that are coming into your life. It may not just produce itself on exactly the 15th of April, but it definitely is letting you know that you are building it. You are building this energy. It's already moving toward, it's also a period of recovery. So you're moving toward this recovery. You're moving toward this happiness. You're moving toward this improved flow with money, for both business and for overall health. And it's just, and it's a creative, communicative, inspirational, illuminating card all around. So, again, you are still you're still stepping back and making plans and working on things, because you do have the Seven of Pentacles. And again, although the Seven of Pentacles is definitely speaking to things moving in a prepared, strategic way, you've got your focus, you've got your vision, you are creating, and you are acting on it. You are nurturing your gifts and your talents, and it does still speak to being conservative with money at this time. But it is telling you that there is going to be an end to that challenging period of financial restraint. It's not going to manifest in the month of April, just because I do see down here you've got the Six of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles, which I guess is probably not visible yet, but there you are. So again, still being mindful of your finances, because it's not letting you know that all of this is coming to fruition just yet. You are building this. The energy is already very filled and abundant, and a lot of things are working in your favor in the month of April to pull that goal off. But it is telling you that your vision will pay off in the future. You are planting the seeds here, and you are, with the 8. And also, I should just quickly mention, even though it's not really close to the Ace of Pentacles, you do have those new opportunities and those gifts coming in from the universe. So there might be two separate things coming in here, because this is really about things coming to fruition due to your own hard work. But I also feel that there is something else that might be gifted you from the universe. I'm not really sure what that is yet, but it is, there's just something I feel that is also going to come about in that way. Something unexpected anyway. I don't know how large scale it might be, but I just feel like something unexpected is going to come your way in the month of April. The Eight of Pentacles here, again, is about paying attention to the details and discipline and enjoying what you're doing. You're concentrating all your energy on getting the job done, your creative pursuit, or whatever it is that is sort of your passion project. You're widening your knowledge base here. You're doing the research. It's just a good sign all around that you are, creating that security and that stability. And you're being proficient with your time. So your perseverance is paying off. So again, moving past that, you do have, again, that Libra energy coming through, and it is justice, and that things are moving in the right direction with the Justice card. So again, that is a Libra energy. So I do feel that there is a Libra coming through very strongly with this. I'll just switch it over so you can quickly see that there is the Justice card here, right there. And I do have some clarifiers on that too, but again, the Justice card is clarified with the Six of Cups, which it might be some kind of a past relationship of sorts, because it does reference something from the past. And you do also have the Two of Cups, and the Two of Cups is really that complete balance between two things, and it could be even a signing of a contract of some sort, regarding your pursuit, regarding your doesn't necessarily even have to be a relationship, a traditional relationship. It could very well speak to a business relationship and some kind of contractual document that needed to be signed that is, balanced and somehow, as I said, with the Justice card, it is letting you know that you are being guided by your intuition, and certainly it's some kind of legal document. And also, again, the Six of Cups could also speak to, sorry, I was hesitating there, because the Six of Cups could also speak to, that passion project, something that you have always wanted to do, something from the past, something that, you have been building all along. I don't feel it's something that you just randomly took interest in. I feel this is something that you have been working on for some time. So again, back to the Six of Pentacles, and it's talking about, you, Six of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles is the clarifier. It is speaking to you being frugal, because it's a combination card. So individually it can be about giving and taking and sharing of resources and that kind of thing, and reconciliation and lots of different things, loss, gain, and you being generous or someone being generous with you. But as a combination card, it does speak to being frugal at this time, be security minded, and conserve. So you're not to be giving out a lot, because especially during this time right now, when things are under quarantine for a lot of people, and it's just a process that we all have to go through and to learn how to survive it. People got through the Great Depression and survived that. It's just about being resourceful and coming together to find ways to survive. And again, it's a wake-up call, I think, for everybody. But, people have survived many generations of setbacks. So we just have to ride this one out. But with this card of frugality and security and being and conserving, it is also followed by three cards. So you've got the Seven of Swords, the Seven of Cups, and the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles normally on its own would indicate some kind of independence and wealth and great things, but because it's a clarifier in this instance, I do not feel that is what it's relating to. I feel that this is really a card letting you know that I don't want to say, well, first off, I'll start with the idea that, because you've got two sevens there, it can speak to true love. So, maybe there is something that's coming through in regards to that. But sevens are all about that solitude and that soul searching and that pulling back. It's about dreams, illusions, and magic. So, it could be, again, this could be relating to your dreams. The Seven of Cups on its own would reference, there might be a lot of anxiety around you. There could be a lot of choices to make. But again, with the Seven of Swords, I just feel that it's not, I think this is you actually, is what I'm going to say. I feel that the Seven of Swords is relating to, can be you or someone around you, but as the Seven of Swords and Seven of Cups combo, it's about combination. It's about daydreaming, and you might be overly daydreaming, or you might be daydreaming about tactics and strategy and searching for a way to deceive or trick. I feel that there's something around that energy, because you're trying to conserve something with the money, and because it's followed, as I say, by the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Cups. I feel that something relating to the money there's a bit of a trickery, or something that is, you're trying to create a tactic or a strategy around it for some other purpose. I'm just putting that out there, but it's just the feeling I'm getting. So again, we also have the High Priestess, and the High Priestess right here is clarified by the Chariot. And I know you can't see the other two cards very well here, so I'm just going to toss those up there. You've got the Nine of Swords and the Two of Pentacles. So those are all clarifiers with the High Priestess. The High Priestess, again, is the highest ranking card in the deck, so it's, it's somebody who's developing their talents. It's about having mysterious influences, at work, and it could be that the divine is coming through here on that basis as well, because it definitely is a card of secret knowledge and extreme intuition. But again, it's, all that wisdom and knowledge and all-seeing and not really giving anything away and guarding those secrets of the unconscious. Somebody who could be very perfectionistic. In terms of money, it could be, again, speaking to some unexpected money coming through. Or it could even speak to someone hiding something as well, because it is so close to that Seven of Swords and, energy and again, the control with the Four of Pentacles, that kind of thing. But as a combination with the Hierophant, or sorry, with the High Priestess, as well as the Chariot, that's about intuitive direction and control. So it's about that intuitive willpower, you following your inner voice, that kind of thing. The power to influence events in unseen ways, all of that goes with that energy. It's also followed again by the Nine of Swords and the Two of Pentacles, which are clarifiers. So there's obviously some anxiety at work here. And again, it's really close to, the Seven of Cups, which was, what I spoke to there with around the Nine of Pentacles. So it's all around money. There is some kind of anxiety that's coming through there. And it's anxiety in balancing your decisions. And you're finding it difficult to adjust to change. So whatever that change means to you. Okay, so I'm just going to bounce right up here to, this is the Temperance card. So this was kind of my flow for the reading here. It goes to here, and then I've got some other cards I'll just sort of dip down for you to see in a minute. But the Temperance card, again, is about, you taking the time to slow down and do the details, follow the journey, the path that you need to. Don't rush the project, because you're getting inspiration and you're getting divine knowledge from ascended masters. That's not something that comes in one or two evenings. It's something that is going to take some time to develop. So it also speaks to self-control and compromise. And it's also about understanding and harmony. So again, it's a highly intuitive card with this one here, as is the star. But again, it's about the universe synchronizing things with the Temperance card. So they're lining things up for you. You're supposed to go the middle way. No highs, no lows. Find the middle way. Use self-control, compromise in not just with your work situations, but as well to unification, because you do have some cards here that related indirectly to relationships and also spoke to a Libra energy and in a number of cards here. But it's about that place of manifestation here with the universe, with the Temperance card. It's also a healing energy. So, you could be working on some inner healing, especially again because it's so closely connected to the High Priestess. But there's a lot of things, miracles that kind of happen with this card. A lot of things that come through in terms of success and creativity. But it is aiming at a long distance goal. So this is nothing that's happening overnight or in the next month or two. It's a long distance goal. It's something that is taking some time to develop. But you're doing it right now. Whatever it is, you're working on it right now. It's not something that you're just, standing back to think about. And it may have been something you've been working on for some time, but it's finally starting to culminate and come to fruition. So you also have the Star card, and again, that's a fortunate time. It's a positive omen. It's a card letting you know that the divine is guiding you. Be optimistic. Use your self-expression, because this is the best time for you to be following your expressive qualities, because it's the best time to express whatever it is that you're trying to get out there, because it is something that you are being divinely led, heavily divinely led through the month of April. But again, it's about you regaining motivation too. So if you were feeling a little bit sluggish here, with the Depression card and some kind of, mental angst above, you are getting through it toward the end of April. This is really your outcome cards. So again, it's just about keeping hope alive with the Star card. There's a lot to look forward to. So despite whatever challenges you're facing right now, you need to remain optimistic, because you have a lot going on for you if you stay the course and overcome the hurdles. There is light at the end of the tunnel. So again, final cards might be a little difficult to see here, but you also have, I'll try to find a way to shift it. You also have the Knight of Cups, which is right here. You also have the Strength card, and then you have the King of Swords. And then again, these were more clarifier cards along the bottom here, but I'm going to start them from this side just because that's just the direction I let them out. So I let them out. But anyway, starting with the Knight of Cups. Again, like with the Knight of Cups, this is really somebody who is it's an emotional energy. It is representing somebody who's protective, and again, it's usually a message that's coming through, some kind of news. But it could be, as far as a person, it could be a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio energy. It could be somebody who is, creative as well, and passionate, and, has a protective quality. Could speak to yourself or somebody else around you. Knights are, again, also leaning toward more of a younger energy. It's either you're inspiring others or you're inspired, but it is that role of a messenger. So it's the sense of being on a mission, basically. It's about living your soul's purpose. Excuse me. The Knight of Cups is also, a 1 and the 2. It's a 12. So 1 and a 2 is 3, which represents creativity. So again, it's living your soul's purpose, and it's a desire and drive to understand and not to settle for the status quo. You have a mission to complete. I do feel that that's more of what's coming through. It's just about the creativity and the imagination that is the mission. So it is still a positive message all around. There's nothing negative about that one, really. And in terms of being strong, I mean, that was the message that was coming through, is that you needed to be strong. And again, with the King of Swords, it might be that you need to be strong. And I feel with the King of Swords, I don't feel that this is necessarily an energy of another person, but I feel it is you. I feel it's you need to be strong for you. You need to be realistic and rational and have some principled high standards, and to be fair, and strategic. You need to be a leader. I feel that it's telling you to be strong and to use the qualities of a realistic, rational. It also represents a Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius with the King of Swords as well. But again, it could be an energy around you representing a lawyer, a figure of authority. But again, it still speaks to the realistic, rational, mindset, fair judgment, principled, capable kind of person, and somebody who has the power to understand and resolve things and make decisions from an integrative place. But either way, I feel it's about you being strong and taking that mindset of being articulate and direct and analytical and assertive and concise and fair, because again, that card also speaks to publishing as a career. It could also speak to psychiatrists, that kind of thing too, with the King of Swords. But I feel like writing or public speaking, something along that line, is pretty strongly a part of this reading. But anyway, it is about Kings represent an active energy. So knowing that your ideas are sound, and to keep researching and communicating your truth from an impartial viewpoint is what the card really means. So using your mind to solve problems. Okay, so moving on past that, this is the very last stretch, which indicates that you have some battles ahead, of course, or at least you've been feeling with the Seven of Wands that you have had to be on the defense, that you are still a warrior, though, and these are just doubts, and these are you feeling vulnerable. This is about having the courage to get through it, and you're meeting any kind of resistance, whatever is, a lot of times the resistance is just ourselves, but it's about, backing up your beliefs and having that strong determination, and just to choose your battles wisely. Don't take on every war, because it's a waste of your time and energy, and, you're not really moving towards your goals when you're acting on other reactions, or acting on a reaction from a reactionary point of view. Then you've got the Eight of Swords. That's the card of self-sabotage. It's about you really just causing a lot of your own stress, and you're feeling bound and restricted, but you're really not. It's a self-imposed restriction. So at any time you can let go, you can decide to heal. You're just feeling vulnerable and victimized, and I don't mean to minimize it. For sure, it's just really stating that you need to focus, find some clarity, start to have some boundaries, but not so many boundaries that they restrict you. it can also speak to a lack of direction, but I mean, I don't feel that's really what's happening here. I feel that you do have a direction in mind, and I feel it's like a long-standing, passionate, soulful direction. But again, it's just you feeling trapped, and just that you just feel like you can't move ahead in some way, and maybe it's because of finances, don't know. But I mean, the card that follows that is the conflict card. It's the Three of Swords. So the Three of Swords is also speaking to, can speak to jealousy and those kinds of things as well, or feeling hurt inside, feeling wounded, discovering some kind of painful truth. It's also about just you seeking some balance. It's about doing some self-examination, feeling that there's some kind of unstable alliance or painful separation or angry words, conflicts, sacrifice endings, anything along that line. But it's just fighting hurtful words, feeling like you could have even broken dreams or some kind of crushed hope. But it really is just, and because it's right beside the Eight of Swords, again, it's really just you. It's your own thoughts creating those that mindset, because that's not really what's happening. You do also have the Hierophant that's following that, and then you've got a Victory card. So the Hierophant, again, it's a major arcana card, and I should have also mentioned, you have a lot of major arcana cards here, and so because of that, they're really representing significant events that are happening for the month of April. But that is a teacher of wisdom, so I really feel this is you. The Hierophant is you reaching that point of success, victory, that divine inspiration that is, allowing you to be disciplined enough to follow some kind of traditional rules and that guru spirituality, things that are allowing you to, you might have imposed restrictions, things that you place upon yourself, but you are following the path of an educated, inner soul expression, I guess is the best way to put it. So it is about you being committed to that external or internal, doing the right thing kind of, and teacher, doing the right thing, being a teacher, being a mentor, educating others. Life is your teacher, but you are also the teacher, because you are getting, it's already told you that you are a powerful leader and that you have the ability to lead others and guide others. And you may not always be right, but for sure you have that charisma. And so long as you're working, through your divine self with a sense of purpose and service to others, you can't go wrong, because you are trying to do things for the greater good. So again, this is a card of you being a teacher, you being able to put out information that is much needed. So again, with the Hierophant and the Six of Wands, you've got victory there. You also have the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords speaks to the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new one. So whatever negativity or hardships that you might have endured, that's all a thing of the past. I mean, for sure, they always crop up in little ways at some point throughout the year. It's not like we're all of a sudden you have no more problems, but whatever heaviness that really kept you down, you're walking away from that kind of negative energy, because now you're embarking on a new, in new territory. You've got the Three of Wands following that, so which that's about that new adventure. And again, even with the other cards from the beginning, all spoke to this new adventure, you going on to an optimistic new path. You're looking ahead before you just run right out there. You're exploring. You're kind of making an educated survey of the land before you jump. You're not just going out there haphazardly, but you are courageously taking on this new journey. Your knowledge is your power. And it also could speak to a waiting period, and that you might be feeling slightly anxious and cautious. But again, with the Temperance card, be patient. It's coming. That is the end of the reading for Gemini 2020 April Career and Finance. What an amazing reading. You have such control and over yourself, and such strong guidance coming through. I cannot even imagine what the rest of the year is going to be like for you, because this journey seems like it is one of, strong purpose. So anyway, just wanted to let you know that also at the very end there, that card was also about rapid growth and expansion with the Three of Wands. So on that note, until next time, we'll talk to you in May. Gemini, good luck to you.